Hit. All right.
Yeah, you sunk your battleship and made a bunch in tips that night. I mean, now, what do you think about that?
I think that's a pretty fair metaphor. Yeah,
That's how it feels like for me. I got my iPad and all my set lists, and I'm just like, no.
Nope. Not like that one? No. Right.
Believe by share?
A lot of people don't understand how much work it is to be a professional musician.
Yeah, the behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh. My day looks like get up, get Heather off to work, and then it's sit down with a cup of coffee, check email, check Facebook, make sure you respond back to all the comments, comment on other people's stuff just to keep that narrative and that interaction going. Mm-hmm. And then it's, stalk other musicians' pages to see where they're playing. And then think, is that a place I want to play? Is that a place that would be good for me? Do I want to go into downtown Harrisburg, or do I want to stay in downtown Carlisle? Do I feel like going to York or Lancaster? Mm-hmm. So then you have to figure out who you need to talk to at each venue. And then you spend, I had one venue that I had messaged for over a year and a half.
Wow.
The last time I contacted them was in October of 2021. Last week, I finally got a reply from them like, hey, man, we'd love to have you come down and play. So
wow,
there's a lot of persistence. There's a lot of waiting around, and a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of Facebook messages, a lot of Facebook stalking. And that's just the business end of it. That's not including the rehearsals. Like, again, if I have 400 or 500 songs I can pull from, all right, well, at some point I need to go over all these songs. So, there's like, all right, I have a gig coming up, this coming weekend. What am I playing? All right, figure out what the set list is, go over it, but then have another 10 to 15 songs over here that need to be gone over, they're rehearsed, so that they're ready to go for the show as well.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to get up there and fall short. If you're doing a 3-hour gig, you need to make sure you have about 3 hours and 15 minutes worth of material. Because there's times I get to my set list and I'll be going down, get about 10 songs in and hit a song on the list and go, not feeling that one right now. Mm-hmm. So you leapfrog it. You go to the next one, or you go somewhere else on the list, and you don't always make it back to that song, but then you have an alternate list on the side that gives you a few more pieces to go to.
Right. I was describing between that and what you're talking about earlier, which was, kind of playing it by ear. I like that. I should pour the beer in this. And you were saying, if they're not about the, 80s rock, you move to Hank, you move around. I was describing it literally yesterday with Alexia on the show. And I wonder how you feel about this metaphor. I was saying it's kind of like battleships. Like the game where you're like, instead of being like A2, you're like, Mama, I'm coming home. Miss.
All right. Your cheating heart. Hit.
Yep.
All right. So how about Love Me Tender? Hit. All right.
Yeah, you sunk your battleship and made a bunch in tips that night. I mean, now, what do you think about that?
I think that's a pretty fair metaphor. Yeah, that's
how it feels like for me. I got my iPad and all my set lists, and I'm just like, no.
Nope. Not like that one? No.
Right. Believe by share? Oh, crap. That went over really well.
Oh, dagnabbit.
It's like, man, I can't even do this song.